Hello students, this is Sudeep Yadav from Spectrum Chemistry. And students, if you're first time visiting to my channel, so please like and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get a best explanation of NCERT book class 7th subject science. And students, today we are going to discuss the new chapter, that is transportation in animals and the plants, and its second part is we are going to discuss. And today the topic which we have to be discussed in this video, that is pulse rate. So let's start students. What is pulse rate? Let's discuss the pulse rate. Before the pulse rate we start, we have to discuss the differences between the artery and the vein. Artery and vein are known as the blood vessels. So these are very important. Both are the very important, artery and the veins, for our circulatory system. These both are the circulatory system, part of the circulatory system. Okay. Sorry. So the first difference, that is artery. In artery carries the blood away from the heart. Means artery having the function that they have to be carries blood away from the heart. But in case of the veins, carries blood towards the heart, means the blood will flow towards the heart from the body. Okay. Blood under high pressure. Blood will circulate in case of artery under the high pressure, but in case of the vein the blood pressure will be low. Okay. Now next point, it is a thick walls. Okay, its wall is a thick walls. Okay, but if you talk about the vein, there is a thin walls. And in case of artery, pulse flow, means there is a fast flow will takes place of the blood, and in case of the vein there is a smooth flow. Okay. Next, narrow lumen, means it will be narrow in size. And if you talk about the vein will be broad inside, that is a large, okay, lumen. And in case of the arteries, there is a no walls, but in case of the veins, walls present. Okay. And last point, blood rich in oxygen except pulmonary artery, and blood poor in oxygen except pulmonary veins. So here we have discussed about the differences in between the artery or the veins. Now next, the pulse. That is a core point which we have to discuss. Okay, that is the pulse. As we know that the heart pumps the blood in the arteries. This continuous pumping of blood in the arteries results in their rhythmic thrombing. Rhythmic thrombing means flip flop. Okay, there is a rhythmic thrombing which is called pulse. That is known as the pulse. Okay. Now pulse rate. What is the pulse rate? Pulse rate is defined as the number of the pulse beats per minute. Whatever the pulse beats will take place within a 1 minute, this is known as the pulse rate. The normal pulse rate of the human beings is 40 to 80 beats per minute, means 70 to 80 beats per minute will rhythmic thrombing will takes place. Okay, within a 1 minute, this is known as the pulse rate. Okay. Now how we can check the pulse rate? So you can hold your wrist as well as your arm, okay, hand, that is. Okay. So both the way you can measure your pulse rate, and doctors are measuring our pulse rate through both the methods. Okay. Now pulmonary artery. What are the pulmonary arteries? What is the pulmonary artery? The pulmonary artery is a special blood vessel that connects the heart to the lungs. This is very important. The pulmonary artery is a special blood vessel that connects the heart to the lungs. And second point is also a very important point, that is it takes blood that contain less oxygen. Although we know that artery having the more oxygenated, means the more oxygenated blood is flowing. But in case of the pulmonary artery, it takes blood that contains less oxygen, that is the deoxygenated blood, from the heart to the lungs. Okay, hence it is unlike all other arteries that carry oxygen rich blood. Okay, means all arteries except pulmonary artery, all artery having the function to circulate oxygenated blood, but in case of the pulmonary artery, this artery is only one artery which having the deoxygenated blood. Now pulmonary veins. What is the pulmonary vein? The pulmonary vein is a special blood vessel that connects the lungs and the heart. It carries oxygen rich blood from the lungs to the heart. Hence it is unlike all other veins that carry oxygen less blood. Okay, so here the pulmonary artery and the pulmonary veins both are very important part of our circulatory system. And now next, capillaries. What are the capillaries? Small blood vessels are called the capillaries, very thin blood vessels. Okay, very thin blood vessels like the spikes. Small blood vessels are called the capillaries. The arteries divided themselves into the capillaries, which then deliver oxygenated blood to the tissues. Means they having the function to deliver the oxygenated blood to the tissues in the body. Similarly, then these capillaries takes up the deoxygenated blood from the tissues to the veins. Means veins also be divided into the capillaries, as well as arteries also divided into the capillaries, and these all capillaries are embedded in between the tissues, and they are having the function to circulate the blood, oxygenated blood or the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so this is very important, that is capillaries. Okay, you can see here lungs, pulmonary veins, pulmonary artery, veins, artery, and the capillaries. And we have discussed all the things, and we have discussed all the things functions also. Okay. Now heart. The heart is an organ present in our body that pumps the blood in the blood vessels. So this is a very important function of the heart, that the heart is an organ present in our body that pumps the blood in the blood vessels. Second point, it is located in the chest cavity, and this is the position of the heart. Second, its lower part is a little tilted towards the left. That is the another important feature. The heart is divided into the four chambers, means we are the four chambered animals, or you can say human beings having the four chambered heart. With the prevents, what is the reason behind it of the four chambered heart? With prevents the oxygen rich blood from mixing with carbon dioxide rich blood. Next, the arteria or upper chambers contain the blood with no oxygen, and the ventricles or the lower chamber of the heart contains oxygen rich blood. The artery and ventricles both are the individually divided within themselves into two chambers with the help up of walls. And from the left ventricles, the biggest artery of our body called the aorta, and the right atrium of the body receives the deoxygenated blood from the body through a vein called vena cava. Vena cava is the largest vein of our body. Okay, so here we have discussed about the all important things about heart activities. Okay, now next you can see here blood flow through the heart. Here is all the steps given through which blood is flowing inside our heart. Okay, so need to be read out only, there is no need to be learn it. Okay, so please kindly read out only. Okay, read it and try to mention it in your notebook also. Okay, now next, heartbeat. What is the heartbeat? The muscles of the heart relax and contract continuously as it pumps the blood in the arteries. This rhythmic contraction and the relaxation of the heart is called a heartbeat. The stethoscope, how we can measure the heartbeat? So there is an instrument, that is the stethoscope. Okay, so the stethoscope is an instrument that is used to listen to the heartbeat of a person. It amplifies the heartbeat so that the doctors can monitor it and find out about the patient's conditions. So this is very helpful for the doctors also. Okay, it contains two ear pieces, a tube that connects them to a chest pieces, comprising of a sensitive diaphragm. So here we have discussed its structure also, and you can see in this given figure its important parts, that is a well labeled diagram. You can mention it in your notebook also as a notes. Now, do all animals possess a circulatory system? So this is a very important question. No, and the answer is a no. Animals like hydra and sponges do not possess a circulatory system. So these animals live in a water and hence get food and oxygen from the water as it enters their bodies. Okay, so means with the water, oxygen as well as the food particles will enter inside their body, and after the respiration process, whatever the waste product will produce, that is the carbon dioxide gas, okay, it will be take out from their body through the water stream. Okay, as the water comes out of their bodies, that we have discussed, as the water comes out of their bodies, it takes away the carbon dioxide and waste material out of it. Okay, so here is the answer for that question, that is, do all animals possess a circulatory system? So I hope students you must have enjoyed